I tried to narrow it down to a few that I think are most essential to practice some of the mechanics to get the girls feeling good about themselves and in a good position and have some success. First, I want to talk about just the hitting stance. I think we need to get these girls set up for success, so I don't want us to look past how important it is to get set. So this is also not cookie cutter, but they should be comfortable. We want to get the girls into an athletic position. For me, I like to start with my feet on a line, my knees bent, and I hinge at my waist. I feel my weight more so on the balls of my feet. With my grip, you'll often hear door knocking knuckles, the small knuckles, together, and that's a great place to start. As you get older, you can afford to go a little bit deeper, but the thing that we do want to avoid is getting big knuckles together. And so what that does is it puts the grip of the bat into the palms of our hands, and when it's deep into the palms of our hands, we're tight, and that bat is no longer acting like a whip. So I first teach door knocking knuckles, and then you can afford to be somewhere within the realm of half an inch to an inch from there. From here, I like to get the girls to start their hands at the top of the strike zone. Okay, if we start here, this calls for a lot of action to get our hands up, which can be distracting. I like a short, simple load from here. So as far as the stance goes, find a good, comfortable place, relax the shoulders, relax the grip, and start with those door knocking knuckles. Okay. From there, we're going to go into our tick-tock drill. So tick-tock with pitching is very similar to tick-tock with hitting. Can you tee me up? Yeah.
Is load just shifting your weight to the back foot?
Yeah. And so the tick-tock is going to teach that. The tick-tock is a good drill to teach a lot of different parts of the swing. Now, I encourage us as coaches not to try to teach all of the things at once. Pick one of the purposes and stick to that. If you're doing tick-tock to work on load, let them know that. So tick-tock, before I get going, is shifting the weight back into our backside, balancing, and then talking to the ball. Try that again. Can I use a real ball by any chance? Oh, yeah, is that okay? Yeah, can I do that? Yep.
One thing she said, and I wanted to mention it with pitching too, is overcorrecting. And I know that I can do this with my pitching lessons. Hey, work on your load, and then work on your arm speed, and then work on this. It's like, oh my gosh. So like she said, focusing on one thing. Like if she's working on this drill, she's just working on the load, then she'll go to something next.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we tick to load, talk to the ball. And so that works on the body, or the weight shift, the transfer of the weight from the backside, loading it up, coming through. Okay? One thing that we're trying to demolish as coaches is the squish the bug. Squish the bug teaches the girls to keep all of their weight on that backside, to squish, so you'll see how much of my foot is on my back foot. So you'll see in tick, if I squish the bug, okay, then I'm staying away from the ball and I'm keeping my power back. There's a reason why we load. The load.
I have a question, because that particular term that you just went is probably, I would say, more than me leading the charge, that you use that term more times than not.
And that, I believe, was originally taught to help turn the hips.
Yes.
Yes.
Get hip rotation, yeah.
So one of the things that I would like to accomplish is coming up with a new term as coaches, because I think we've all used that term for different reasons, and it's confusing the girls.
Right.
And I just,
Let the bug go.
yeah. So
Don't push the ball.
Yeah.
Don't push it.
Run away. Yeah. Yeah. And so what we don't want them to do is do that to help let the bug go. They do have to rotate that hip and drive the knee forward.
let the bug go.
Let the bug go.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll show you a drill so you can do that with the ball. ball.
It's a challenge to find the balance between not too much leaning on that front.
Yep,
Because you don't want them to lunge,
definitely.
but then at the same time, you don't want them to
Uh-huh.
be all on their back. So
And-
we shift to the front.
Yeah, and that definitely is a challenge, but if we get them here, then we're gonna have to break that at some point too. So, to help work that, put this off to the side so we can see, I'll use 3 balls, and this back ball will indicate where my back foot's gonna go. That front ball is gonna indicate where my front foot's gonna land, and the middle ball is gonna indicate where my core should be when I'm done. And so this position is called being stacked. So I can practice letting the bug go, but finishing in a stacked position. If I'm here, when I'm done and I hold my swing, if I can look down and see that my head is above that ball, along with my hips and my back knee, I was successful letting the bug go, but it was also successful at staying stacked and balanced. That's huge because balance is power. And if we come here, okay, then that's gonna affect how we see the ball and our strength at contact, because I'm not very strong here. I'm much stronger when everything's out in front.
Yeah, and when you're loading and you're balancing, your foot is flat on the ground.
Yes.
Is your weight remember you were distributed on your foot like that too? Not going towards the outside, obviously, it's more like, is it towards the front of your foot?
At the load,
Yeah, at that load point.
yeah, so at my load, I try to teach keeping that back knee inside of my stance, because that helps me keep my weight on the inside of my foot, making it easier for me to drive and transfer my weight that way. See a lot of hitters who will try to do that and get the knee outside and they'll float out that way. I call that a leak in the bucket, right? That's our power that's leaking outside. So I keep it here. Okay, we can balance, drive the knee, finish stacked. Okay, right there. Now, another way we can use TikTok is where to stride. So, see a lot of hitters that'll stride, we call it in the bucket, or the alligator pit, or they'll stride into the pitch. When we stride into the pitch, the inside pitch is going to be hard to get to. If we stride into the bucket, the outside pitch becomes hard to get to. So, try to teach the girls to use a line. So right now I've got this green line. And when I do the TikTok drill, if I'm going to focus on my stride, I'm going to make that the only thing that I focus on. So when I finish and I notice, boom, maybe I shifted my weight too far, but I'm going to look, did I make the adjustment I needed to with my stride? Yeah, awesome, good job, right? Give them a few times to be able to work on just the stride. Then say, hey, let's do TikTok and let's focus on getting stacked this time, right? And so hopefully they will be able to take what they just learned with their stride and then pair that up with being stacked, right? Yes, coach.
So regardless of where the pitch is, inside, outside, your stride should be the same every time? Or
Yes.
should you react to the outside pitch and you have to kind of step out to reach out to get it sometimes?
No, so we've got, what is this? I think this is 34-inch bat. My swing, let's see, do I have a plate? Yeah. No, I'll look at you guys. I should be able to, with the length of this bat, to be able to get to any pitch with my stride. So I'm going to stride on my line. Where I make contact with an outside pitch is deeper in my zone. It's right here. If it's anything further out, I really shouldn't be swinging at it. When I get to contact, you'll see in this position here, if I let my bat down, I'm gonna hit that ball off the sweet spot of the bat, right? It all comes down to contact points. Where in my swing am I gonna make contact? With the middle pitch, I'm not gonna get this ball as deep. I'm gonna get it out in front a little bit more. So I'm gonna have the same exact swing. I'm just gonna hit it at a different time, right there. That down, sweet spot. Inside pitch is up here, okay? So when I practice inside pitches with my team, I'm gonna have the exact same swing. I just need to rotate a little bit more, keep my hands inside my body, close to my body, and snap a little bit later, right? So when I put my bat down, you'll see that I'm still able to use my bat the way I need to. It just comes down to contact points, right? I'll have girls practice their inside pitches, but they'll put that tee right there, and that's teaching them to do this, right? So if we're at that level of being able to go up and get away from just the middle pitch, let's use that diagram on how we set up for it. Sound good?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Question, I got T-ballers.
Yep.
So I noticed when you were lining up hitting there, the tee was actually in front of where the base would be. When you're coming through. But when you stood up, when a pitch was coming in, your stance was right on the plate. Should we put the tee right in front of a plate, a home plate, and get the girls to start learning to be back that far and stepping into hit? Versus being lining up right on the tee and having the bat right there?
Right. It depends on where they're comfortable standing. So for me, I like to stand with the plate in the middle of my stance. In the middle of my stance, so that when I step to swing, that middle pitch is it's right in my wheelhouse. But if you get a girl who likes to swing, likes to stand back here in the box, that's not the same contact point. I have to adjust that, right? So I have to pull that tee back. So it really shouldn't be in regards to the plate. It should be in regards to where you're standing. Where you are in the box decides where you're gonna hit that ball, right? So if I'm at a plate, I'm gonna move that tee back a little bit. Okay.
I guess I want to rewind back just further. For the younger, players, let's say there's no reference point. Where do you first start that? How do you teach them to line up on it?
So for a middle pitch, say we don't,
For a T-ball, where do you line them up?
I mean, just like,
like
is
in
there
a,
a base reference?
My point of reference was that tee was in the front of their foot. If their tee was in the middle, it was too far back. But it should be, just point of reference, this is just T-ball, pitch is not even coming in.
right,
It's just you line the tee up on that front. So I'm hitting
Yes.
this way, after they stride.
right.
After they stride.
So if they set up here, but then they like to stride this way, then we have to adjust that. Where they finish their stride, then you set up the tee based off of that. So what I'll do is I'll put the bat off of my front hip, and I'll make sure that when I finish my stride, that the ball is about 1 ball, 2 balls out in front of my bat, right? I shouldn't be here. So yeah, right about there.
Does that answer your question? So,
Okay.
if they're walking up there and they're checking their
Yeah.
distance, and the tee is like right in the middle, then they need to be back.
Yeah.
They need to meet it out
They'll
front.
wanna do
So if I'm
this
hitting out
or-
front, that tee should, that tee, if she was for her home plate, if she lined up on home plate, that tee is out in front of the plate by a foot.
Would you teach the younger kids the thing? I always taught them just rock back and then swing through so they can kind of find that balance point. But
Yeah.
as they go all over the place,
It depends. Some kids will want to just rock back and go without any sort of stride. Some kids will want to pick up and put down. I think the pick up and put down really helps emphasize that weight shift. Just as long as it's not too dramatic. They'll watch some of their favorite Major League Baseball players and see them do
yeah.
this, and that's a little bit exaggerated. So I would definitely have them say tick-tock, like what Stephanie was doing. Have them just do a slight tick-tock, tick-tock, and you don't need to pick up too far. Sound good?
What's the symptom of overstriding?
Stride too early. Timing can be too early.
Not being stacked.
Not being stacked.
When they land, they will sway. Yeah, well, they'll just be, their head won't be in line with their back knee.
Right. We don't want the kids to stride too far out, because then we don't have as much mobility in our legs. They just get kind of locked up.
How about that hole right here? What would fit in there?
Oh, a ball. So when you're done, if you drive that back knee and you're stacked, you should be able to squeeze a basketball in between those knees and be balanced and together. yeah, if we stride too far and we rotate, then our power is just distributed too far apart. We can't use it all together. Yeah, Jeff.
I don't want to get too far away from the hitting, but kind of like the swishing the bug analogy, and the idea is to get hips and core and everything engaged, and that seems to mirror what we're doing in a lot of different areas, right? We don't want people throwing with their arms. The idea is getting core, the hips engaged. Is there a drill, and maybe it's hitting, maybe it's just a stretch or something that you guys use to get people more used to turning and using their body and using that full strength?
Sure. A medicine ball, a good one here, and throwing, right? And keeping side to side, throwing with a partner. But yeah, really that medicine ball turn and throw is really good for the core. And just reminding them, what their core is. Sometimes like, what's my core? Tighten it right here. Tighten it when you're doing it. That's strong. Core is huge for this game. And pitching too, so huge. Yeah.
And a hitting drill for that too, and this can be done with TikTok as well, but we'll sometimes get the girls to put their bat behind their back where they can't just get away with using their arms to swing, and then we'll get a ball back here by their foot. If they squish the bug, then they're going to kick that ball away. So this right here is going to force them to rotate their hips, but also drive off their backside so that they don't hit that ball away. So the bottom of their shoe should be facing this ball when they're done. So this should be deeper in my zone so that I'm not pulling and reaching there. I'm going to stay here, stride, and get there. So when I'm done, I'm using my hips to rotate the bat. Be careful, the girls might want to do that, which takes away from the whole hip turn. Keeping the girls' hands, their palms facing their body this way, keeping the bat flat against their back, forces them to use their hips to get around. Yeah, and so, this is just something you can use to keep them accountable, whether you're doing a drill or not. Have a ball behind them, and when they swing, have them check and make sure that they didn't hit it. It could be a ball, it could be a helmet, it could be a glove, whatever you want. But, yeah. Okay. All right, I think we just got a couple more drills. Long tee. You guys are noticing everything that we do and the drills that we're explaining, I'm trying to give you a why. And I know with our girls that helps them so much that they know that they're doing something for a purpose, for a reason. So this is a long tee drill. This is fun to use as a competition too. I'm going to set up again on my line, and my objective is to hit that ball off of the tee. The reason why I'm doing this is because it helps the girls engage that backside to drive through the ball, keeps our hands moving through the ball, instead of just twisting and rotating and squishing that bug. So when I have that target out there, it gets my hands and everything to work through the ball. So as the youngsters come in, it's a little more fun for them if you have the long tee a little bit closer. It makes it a little easier. Okay? Through practice, move that tee further back. Okay? So it gets everything moving forward. I'll do this at the end of practice. Sometimes I'll break the girls up and say, hey, each group, you guys have a minute to try to knock that ball off the tee. And one swing and then switch, one swing and then switch, one swing and then switch. And so they don't even know that they're doing great things for their swing, they're just having fun. And that's the whole trick of drills, is just disguise the learning as fun. Okay? And then lastly, yes, yes, no. This is for pitch selection. This is for when you're doing front toss or side toss or even facing live pitching. Get the girls zoned in to thinking, yes, I am swinging. Yes, I am going. Yes, I'm going to hit this ball. Get those girls' minds in a positive place, and then that way their swing is going to look like they said yes. You'll see a lot of girls in the box, you can tell what they're saying in their head. If they're like this, they're saying no, 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 yes, right? As opposed to yes, 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 yes. And so to get them to say that out loud is great, because then they can hear themselves say yes, 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 no. And then you can see what kind of swing they just gave, and you can hear the doubt in their head, and relate that to what they just put out on the field. But then when you can see them swing yes with an exclamation point, it's awesome. They just feel so confident. From the younger ages up, you can start them off with just saying, hey, say yes for the strikes and no for the balls. Say yes for the high pitches. Those are the ones that you're going to go for. Not up here, please. Higher strike zone, yes, yes, yes. Stay true to those. If you get a low pitch, say no. Then choose, okay, I'm going to say yes on low pitches, yes on low pitches, up, no, because it's a high pitch. Then you can go in and out and choose as a team if you're going to go in and out. For higher levels, maybe majors, juniors, think about counts. If you got a 2-strike count, I want us to go up there with the approach that we're going to hit, we're going to protect the zone, and it's got to be yes, 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 yes on just about anything. If you've got less than 2 strikes on you, got to be more selective, pick the pitch that you want, and stay true to that. So there's many ways we can climb the ladder with yes, yes, no. Okay, so we'll stick around for a little while if you guys have more questions and want further explanation on some drills. Thank you guys for being so interactive with